guys, it's Elisa, and today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me video. So I'm going to a little holiday get together. It's super casual, but I wanted to have fun, festive makeup. So I'm going to do a get ready with me video. I have my hat on and it's going to keep me warm. And so for my face, I don't have anything on yet. So we're going to start from the beginning to the end of my look. So the first thing is I'm going to apply a moisturizer to my face, and I'm using the Embroylisse Embroyderm, and you can see I absolutely love it. And this is my second tube. So I just put a little bit of this all over my face. And I'm going to use my fingers because it's my face and I have clean fingers. Okay, now I'm going to let that absorb for about 15 minutes. I'm going to work on my eyes and eyebrows. So for my eyebrows, I like to use this combination of the Anastasia's Dipbrow in chocolate and in blonde. So let me open it so you can see. It's a warm brown and the blonde. I like to use the blonde in the inner corners because I feel like the chocolate is a little too harsh on my skin. So I'm just going to mix the combination. I'm going to take an angle brush. This is the stiff brow brush, and I'm just going to trace my eyebrow here, going all the way to the end on the top and the bottom to really shape and define my brows. And because my hair is so much darker now, I can really get in there with a deeper, darker color. And I'm just gonna draw that in. I love it because it's waterproof and it really lasts for a long time. Then I'm gonna go in with the blonde, and I'm just gonna finish this inner corner here. And I didn't wipe the brush off because I like that blend of the two colors. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my eyes, and I just think it's so crazy how much bigger it is with some lashes and some color. So the first thing is I'm gonna use my Fergie Wet n Wild primer. I really like it. I like the cost. I like the way it works. And what you want to do is go from the inner corner outward so it's nice and smooth the best way possible, so that way you have less corrections. So I'm just going to go like this, spread that out. Then I'm going to take my new favorite palette. It smells yummy! It's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I love it because it's easy to blend and it smells really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color right here, which is White Chocolate. The only bad thing is that the names are on this paper right here that I have to keep, and I normally toss it, but it's this one right here. I'm going to take White Chocolate and this fluffy crease brush. You don't need a crease brush, just something fluffy. And I'm going to apply that right underneath my eyebrow. You can always carve your eyebrow later with a little concealer to define it. I like to do that last because then I could get a little messy and have some fun with my eyeshadow and fix everything later. I like to work from the side like this versus like this. It's kind of difficult for me, and I feel like sometimes it's good when you deposit color right here, but I just like to work this way. Nice and smooth. Then I'm going to create my faux crease because it's a little earlier in the day and my eyes are kind of puffy weird. I'm going to take this right here to make a shadow for the crease, and that color is called Salted Caramel. And I'm going to take my Makeup Forever brush in 242, really soft and beautiful, and I'm going to apply that right here in the crease area. And I've just created my faux crease, in case you're wondering why you use the brown. It's like a warm, soft brown. And I'm just going to blend that. The reason why I like to blend as I go is because it's softer and it creates a much smoother blending look. Now if you're in a hurry, you can do it last. Really just depends on the look that you're going for. Okay, so now we're going to go into this beautiful cranberry color called Cherry Cordial. And I'm going to take my Bdellium 776 brush, which is a fluffy, shorter crease brush, and I'm going to dip it in there, and I'm going to pat a little color right here and a little bit on the inner corner, and I'm going to bring that together right in the middle. Now this isn't quite cranberry, it's not quite red, it's still like a reddish brown. So the next step is I'm going to pop a little gold right here, and I'm going to use Creme Brulee, which is almost like a bronzy brown frosty color. I didn't want to say gold, but it's the goldest one in here. And I'm going to apply that right here on the lid. And this is when I like to just keep my brush in a vertical manner versus horizontal, because I'm just patting the color and I want it to be concentrated right here. Then I'm going to go in and soften the line at the outside of that color. Now we're going to go in and soften the line. So I'm going to take that Makeup Forever brush in the 242, soften the line up here so it's nice and smooth, that transition. And then I'm going to take that other brush from Bdellium and softly blend that. Alright, now I'm going to apply a lot of eyeliner. So for my eyeliner, I'm going to be using the TarTe Azurite green. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's this beautiful green here from TarTe. And it comes in a gift box. I was going to show you guys, but I did a picture of it on my Instagram page, so check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the top part of my eye and the bottom part. I'm going to bring it out into a little tail. So I'm just going to go along my lash line. And I'm going to make the line a little bit thicker on the top because I'm going to create a little black line right underneath at the lash line. So I want the green to be visible as well. And I'm going to taper it on the inner corner. And I'm going to run it right over my waterline too. It's a nice creamy green. That way I have my reddish and my greens, but not being like literally red and green. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to try to create a small flick. Now it's not going to be defined because my pencil isn't sharp, but I'm going to use a black eyeliner for that. I just kind of want a green shadow. Like that. See how my eyes are like bigger now. Okay. Then I'm going to take my eyeliner. I just picked this up at a show. It's called Tat2U Inkpen. And it's a liquid eyeliner. And I'm going to apply that right at the lash line. Nice and smooth. And then also this will conceal my eyelash band. Next I'm going to take my clean NARS angle brush and my MAC plumage because I don't want it to be green, I just want it to be greenish. And I'm going to go over my eyeliner so it doesn't move or budge, and I'm going to soften the lines. I'm going to go over this line right here, create a soft, smooth line. For the inner corner, I'm going to go back into this creme brulee, and this is my 208 for Makeup Forever little smudge brush, and I'm going to apply that right on the inner corner, right on top of that green. It'll serve as like a base and a little gold. And then just lightly blend. So next I'm going to apply a little mascara to my bottom lashes because I don't want to get mascara all over the top part of my lid. So I'm going to use Voluminous Million Lashes from Loreal. And the reason for that is that if you put the mascara here and you look up to kind of put it down here, or if you're doing it on somebody else, it's going to get all over the top. So bottom first. If you don't have anything like me, you just pretend. And then put on your lashes. Again, I'm going to go with the same lashes I wore last week from House of Lashes. It's the Noir Fairy, and it's like triple thick. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to keep wearing these until they fall apart. And I'm going to use my Revlon lash glue, which is amazing. You don't even need to really like fan it or anything. And I'm going to plop that down. And then once it's kind of tacky, I'm going to push this up and push this down. Now if you really want to blend your lashes, just take a little bit of that Tarte eyeliner and run it right underneath on the inner rim of your eye. Just a little bit to deepen it. Kind of keep that nice consistency and the connection between your real lashes and the falsies. And that completes the eyes. So now onto my skin. Okay, so I have a very specific skincare and makeup foundation routine that I absolutely love, and I want to share it with you guys. It's a lot of steps, but it makes your skin look just so pretty. Okay, so the first thing I do is I take my spray. This is the Urban Decay Vitamin Infused Complexion Prep Spray. You can use any kind of spray. Just kind of, it's like another way to keep your makeup intact, and just, this one's infused with vitamins. So I just spray it. Just fan it and let it get onto my skin. It's so beautiful. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to apply a primer. There's a lot of different primers out there right now. I've been using the Embroylisse, the I don't know how to pronounce half the word that's on here. Secret de MAQPRO, I don't know. I'm sorry, I wasn't making fun. But this one right here, the BB Creme. We'll have to ask them. MAQPRO, this right here. Anyways, this right here, amazing. I absolutely love it. And it has an SPF of 20, which I guess you still need in the wintertime. So what I do is I apply this first to my skin. Of course, I already have my moisturizer. So I just put this to the 5 points of my face. Now when I do my own makeup, I use my fingers because I really can get in there with the warmth of my fingers and just kind of massage it onto the skin. Same way as you would with your moisturizer. Now this has like a slight tint. I don't really feel like it changes too much, but my mom does, but I still love it. Okay, so now that the primer's onto my skin, I am going to make my foundation. Okay, I'm going to mix my foundation, not really make it, but I feel like I'm making a whole new formula. I am in love with two different foundations. The one I'm going to use today is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC25, and I love the NARS Copacabana Illuminator. I love this stuff. Now, you can mix this with your foundation, you wear it under your foundation, you wear it over your foundation, but it makes your skin dewy and luminous without looking like glittery. And I absolutely highly recommend this, especially in the wintertime when you have like that dull, just kind of blah skin. So what I do is I just take a mixing pan. I actually use this right here. This is from Yabby, and it's not like a real mirror, I've learned. It's a mixing pan, so I'm going to use that. Spray a little bit. I've already cleaned this with alcohol and everything like that, so it's not gross. Take a couple of pumps of my foundation, a little bit of my NARS, and I'm using my Makeup Forever 106 brush. I'm just going to mix it together. It's kind of fun to mix. And this is my foundation, and I'm going to apply this to the 5 points of my face. If you want to conceal and highlight and everything like that, I like to do it later, so I'm just going to apply this to the face. Small short strokes are going to help with any of those lines that your brush makes. I'm going to go right underneath the eyes, kind of clean up any smudgy eyeliner. So a lot of you guys asked about how to keep concealer from creasing, drying, cracking around the eyes. I'm going to show you what I do. I absolutely love this tip and trick. Even if you're like younger and you're 19 and you put a lot of concealer, you'll still see fine lines and wrinkles right here because of the line that your face makes when you smile. So it's not like you're older or anything like that. It's just the way the product is sitting on your face. So don't get paranoid about it. We've got a secret. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your finishing spray. I love this one here from Urban Decay, and I know that every brand has it. Elf has it for like $3. I mean, you can really just, you can get it anywhere. And I have a soft sponge right here. This isn't the Beauty Blender, but it looks just like it. As far as the way it works, it's nice and soft. So what I'm going to do, kind of playing right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my concealer, and I'm going to apply that in the places that I'm going to conceal. So I'm going to take the same brush because this is what I do. And I'm using my MAC Prolongwear in NC20. You can use something even lighter. I'm just using this because that's what I like. So I'm just going to take a little bit, apply it right here. The reason why I have the highlight right here is because I am highlighting this area and I want it to pop. And then a little bit right here. And it's going to blend in with my foundation, but you can see how it's working already. This is just a quick contour, because without it, your face is pretty much just flat with one color, and that's why it's great to have the brushes, the contour, the bronzers, and this is going to be like an hour video. Okay, so let me just kind of blend this in a little bit. But you can see how it looks like I already have like a little spotlight on my face, and that's kind of your goal, is you want it to pop. Next I'm going to use this right here and my spray, and I'm going to spray my sponge, and I'm going to work fast. So you're going to work really fast right here, and what you're doing is you're pretty much just kind of sealing this onto your face. You could do this as much as you'd like, just so that way it does stay, but that's really the trick on how to get your concealer to be nice and smooth all day long. And since it's wet, it's like spraying water to blend it in. It works two ways. And a little bit here. Now I don't even have to really touch my regular foundation and blend it in. I'm just going to do a nice little soft stippling motion, and it's going to nicely blend together. Okay, next we're going to contour. Usually some people just put everything all on there at once. I just, really depends on my mood, if I'm playing around, or if I have like zero time, then I don't even do any of this. Next I'm going to use my MAC. This is the NW30 Moisture something. Oh, Select Moisture Cover. Just a little bit darker. And what I'm going to do, again, like if you're doing this on somebody else, you're going to take this and put it onto your pan. For me, I'm just going to swipe right here, create a little triangle, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Then you can go all out. You can apply a little bit under here to bring that part back if it's too long. Bring this all the way down like this. You want to be very careful when you are contouring right here because you don't want to like make your nose extra crooked or anything like that. You just want to be nice and smooth when it comes to blending later. And then if you want your cheeks to pop, you could add like a little bit right here if you want to. Sometimes it's not very flattering, so I like to do just a little bit if I'm doing that at all. And then to kind of keep your forehead nice and little, just a little bit of color right here. You can use powder as well. I'm just using this because I am. And I'm going to take that same sponge and I'm just going to lightly blend that in. I'm wearing a hat so it doesn't really matter up here, but just to kind of keep the little technique going. And then you're going to want to blend this upward because you don't want to like find your spot and then drag it downward any further. You just want to find your spot and keep it there. I'm going to move upward just a little bit. Then I'm going to take whatever I have left and just kind of run it down here. You can actually go in with your darker color and do it on your own, but I'm just going to do whatever I have on the sponge. Okay, for this part right here, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to blend. So you're going to take like a concealer brush or like a fluffy brush and just kind of softly bring it downward this way. The reason for this is that you're going to make a slimmer nose, a little bit more defined, so that your nose doesn't blend in with like the rest of your face. So as you can see, it's a nice and soft, subtle blend there. Of course, if you have too much, just lift it up with a tissue or with like your sponge. Okay, for this part right here, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to blend. So you're going to take like a concealer brush or like a fluffy brush and just kind of softly bring it downward this way. The reason for this is that you're going to make a slimmer nose, a little bit more defined, so that your nose doesn't blend in with like the rest of your face. So as you can see, it's a nice and soft, subtle blend there. Of course, if you have too much, just lift it up with a tissue or with like your sponge. Okay, now that you have the majority of it done, you're going to go in and you're going to make sure it's all nice and blended. You can feel free to put on your powders now. Translucent is preferable because you've got all this stuff on your face already. Now I'm going to go in with some blushes. I have like tons of different favorites, but I'm just going to use my Kat Von D's. This one right here is Pour Vida and Love Song. You can see 1 and 2 because I can't decide. And I'm using my Morphe brush. This is a Badger hair brush, but I like it because it's thinner than the Violet Voss fan brush, but it's thicker than like your typical fan brushes. So it's like perfect for like a pop-up. So I'm just going to take a little bit of color. You could even, just in case, and you're going to start and bring it forward. And you barely have to blend because it's so soft, this brush. It's not going to give you anything too intense. I also think this acts like a great powder down too, instead of using translucent powders. A little bit of color if you're crazy like me and you want to put a bunch. Then I'm going to go in and add a little bit more of my, this is bronzer. So the difference between contour and bronzer is one's shiny, one's frosty, versus the contour which is matte. So it's just a brown powder. This one right here, shiny of course because it's on me, like it. I'm going to go right in, make some sharp lines. Now I can continue to use this to blend it in, or I go in and I use this. This is that Morphe brush that I was telling you guys about. I had a whole like video on this, but I'm going to pick it and blend it upward, soften it, and then just kind of diffuse that bottom part. So now I have some nice contours to my face without looking so over the top, just kind of like, whoa, but it looks like I have a little light shining on my face like all the time. So your pictures will just be nice and beautiful. Now for highlights, some people like to go in and go with something natural like a light powder. I'm going to go with my MAC Soft and Gentle because it looks just so fun in pictures, especially the holidays. I look all like plasticky and bright. So I'm going to take this little fan brush right down the nose. But you want to make sure that you're doing this straight. Because I've seen pictures where sometimes I'm like in a rush or whatever and I'm like, and my nose looks like all weird. I'm like, that's not me. So you want to make sure it kind of goes down real straight. And then pop a little highlight. Fan brushes are great because if you're like me who likes to put on a lot of makeup without like looking like it, this is a great way. And you can see like the nice little shine. Pink. So for my lips, I mean, you can do anything you want. I have this new MAQPRO Lip palette right here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and apply it to my lips. So I'm just going to scrape a little bit and put it onto my Yabby palette here because it looks like this. So I'm just taking these three colors, mixing it, whatever. Just whatever you feel like at the moment. And then I'm going to apply that to my lips. Okay, so now that I've created like a foundation for my lips, I'm going to use, this is the Loreal 465 like red color because it's Christmas time, holidays. It really just want red lips. So I'm going to apply this onto my lips again, kind of pull your lips outward to get in all the cracks and crevices. And then as my lip color fades, I'll still have that lipstick underneath it so I don't have to reapply as much. And that completes the look. Thank you so much for watching. This is it. It's super fun. It's simple. It took a while because I had to explain things that I normally wouldn't. And that's it. I'm Melissa. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to work on that next video with a palette tag. And I'll see you later. Bye.